John Boutte, it's so great to see you. It's been 13 years since we first brought you up to be in our series. And I miss you. You know how much I love you. And it seems like you connected so well to Vancouver and BC. Like it became like a little bit of a second home for you, with lots of friends and lots of love for you from this community.
Well, I remember that so distinctly because it was a great refuge and people treated me so well up there. I just loved Canada. I fell in love with BC. You guys had great music, you had great food, seafood was great. The people were incredible. That was the time I think Mark Lindy, and it's funny because he says, let's go to my house. And I'm like, what? And he brought me to his crib and we looked at some records, and he brought me to his studio where he was doing a gospel a radio show down there. And
you did an interview.
Right. And so that's right. So, and then him and his wife and his kids just became just dear friends. Like I've got so many up in Canada, man. I just love Canada. And I was hoping to come up this past year. I was hoping to come up to play at Doug Cox's festival in Courtney, And I will come to Canada anytime you guys want to get me on that festival circuit. Do it.
Well, we'll definitely have you back. John, I got a little surprise for you.
Yes.
I got someone else on the call who wants to say hello. Mr. X, the mysterious Mr. X.
That's what that could be.
Well, there's times in one's life that you meet somebody, and I'm sure you don't know who this is. That's why I'm.
This is your life, John. Who is this?
There's times when you meet somebody, and there's a special connection, and you wait long enough, and you find out what that special connection is. And Fiona, the hell with John. It really goes back to you, Fiona, because you're introducing me to John by bringing me in to help build an audience when he was unknown here. It has really spiraled into something that has been life-changing for me in terms of getting me more involved as a musician now, and off of radio after 11 years and really focusing my life on playing music.
It was 13 years ago, Mark. So Mark Lindy, great friend to us both, John. But I remember how random it was, how I discovered you. A friend of mine, Jack Schuler, good friend, was in New Orleans and went to see you perform at your club, and he came back and he made a copy of the CD and he mailed it to me, and he's like, you got to listen to this singer, he's incredible. So I did. I put in the copy of the CD. I trusted Jack's taste, and it's like, you're an artist that transforms people. Like you know,
thank you so much.
You really do. Like I've never heard a vocalist like you, someone who brings so much emotion, and you just own every song that you sing, John. You bring out the emotion in the listener. What you do with songs through your voice, it's pretty magic.
Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore.
So I was transformed, as so many people have been in BC. And I went looking for you on the internet. I wrote to you and said, please come to Vancouver. I'd like to have you perform in our series. And you're like, sure, I'll come to Vancouver. So
I didn't have any management then either.
It was way too easy. And I just like, what made you say yes to my email and trust us? Like you didn't know us at that point.
Well, I think that was one of the years that I decided that yes would be my answer, right? And later on, I decided no.
Lots of people said, how on earth did you get John Boutte? Because, you've become a phenomenon.
It was easy. It was easy to come, man, because it was a warm invitation. it was Canada, which really piqued my curiosity, and Vancouver, which I'd heard so much about. And I just was ready to. I was traveling back then also, especially because we didn't have much of a home, and I wanted to spread the word about New Orleans trying to recover, et cetera, et cetera. But honestly, I think the letter was just straightforward, honest, and hey man, come up here. And it was college students, and I was like, that's always a good audience, because they're open, they're young, and they're listening. But there was diverse. There was everybody there, man. It was so nice to come there and be able to perform in a beautiful theater, and people listen, not like in New Orleans where they love music, but they just don't want to listen, right? Once you have a couple of drinks, baby, it's kind of hard to control that crowd. But
there's lots of fun to be had there, yes.
I'm ruling when it comes to that, right? And people can tell you right now, I can quiet the most rowdiest audience like that.
Absolutely.
And it's my super mind powers.
You transfix people. You transfix.
They're afraid of you. Let's just call it like it is. They're afraid of you. At Jazz Fest in 2013, you were in a very large venue. I mean, it was the huge tent there. And it was unbelievable how quiet it was. It was packed to the rafters, but you could hear a pin drop. It was phenomenal.
And that scares the hell out of me too. I'm like, wow, somebody say something, please. But I can quiet them now, man. And I think it's also just I don't know if it's the vibration or the tone of my voice. Am I emanating that kind of feeling? So much vibrations coming out this hair. Sorry about that, Mark. I'm not trying to hair show you because I don't want to show you the back.
I seen that back.
Your hair looks great, John. You're well groomed for COVID times, I have to say.
You know what? I just cut my beard off 1 week ago, man. And it's one. I put it before and after. I shot a picture. I just combed it all out, and I shot a picture of me with the beard and the hair all the way out. And then I shot one after I shaved and got my good hair back.
That looks good. I watched your pre-recorded stream show for 7 days of Satch.
I was really excited because people started giving me money.
Oh, awesome! That's great.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, wow, man. This is a new a whole new way of doing business, man. I don't like it, to be honest with you. I want to see people. I want to touch people. I want to feel people. I want them to see me. I want to touch me, and I want them to feel me. So that's just the tactile part of this singing, man. It's an art and it's emotional, and when you're singing to an empty room, to a camera, just itself is, I got to put myself like in the studio mood. You know what I'm saying? And it's really hard to emote. That's why a lot of records don't go over, because they're in the studio and it's hard to emote those tunes because in this cold environment. Even though you got the music going, you still don't have the, we pack animals. You got to have people around, man. I want the other dogs howling after I finish singing.
Yeah.
But I've been getting my band over every now and then and put them out on the porch here in the country. I'll pull a piano out, and it's, especially during the summer and spring, it was so beautiful. And we jam out here a bit. I was working on my horn. Where's Mark? Mark, I've been working on my horn, but I put it down for the last 3 months, man. I've just been overwhelmed doing other things, but I've been playing a little piano and working on my voice, working on tunes. I've recorded a lot. I've done some collaborations with folks on their records, and I just finished a recording for a documentary. It's going to be the ending 2 songs for a documentary called City of a Million Dreams. And it's going to be it's a beautiful documentary about the second lines and the social and pleasure clubs, marching clubs in New Orleans.
John, I have another secret guest that I'm going to bring into the room.
Okay, let's see if I can get this one.
This is your moment. This is your life moment.
This is your life moment.
Doug, are you with us?
I'm here.
Yeah.
Hold on. There I am.
There you are.
Hey, John.
How you doing, dude? I was looking at a picture of you on Facebook with your grandkid. It was so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I'm good. It's cold here, though. We actually have snow. You haven't been up here in the winter. You haven't been here in the winter, have you?
I was in Alberta with you guys recording.
We were in BC.
Yeah, that's right, man.
Yeah, we were in Ashcroft, BC when we did that.
That was near the Arctic. That was in the Arctic Circle, very close, wasn't it?
Yeah, if you're from New Orleans, I guess it was.
I saw Santa Claus.
Right. I want to give Doug a little bit of an intro. So Doug Cox, thanks for joining.
Hi, Fiona. Thank
all the
you.
way from the beautiful Comox Valley. Doug is the artistic director of the wonderful Music Fest, one of the great festivals on Vancouver Island. We were reminiscing about how John and I connected and brought him out to Vancouver for the first time to be in my series. And that I reached out to you and said, what do you think about bringing John in for your festival? He's going to be here at the end of June, so the timing was pretty good for your festival. And you were totally up for it after hearing his wonderful voice. And but it went on for you guys to become friends and to end up collaborating and recording together. So just maybe talk a little bit about that whole experience of John coming to Comox Valley.
Yeah. Do you want the G-rated experience, or do you want the Well, Fiona, I have to thank you for introducing me to John's music, because I was just blown away when you sent me the music that you sent. I mean, one of my favorite singers of all time. As soon as I heard him, it was like, yes, of course, and then getting to meet John and hang out with him, also one of the nicest guys of all time too. So he came to the festival, and like so many folks from the South who come, they start off kind of with the "where the hell am I" kind of attitude. I think it's really brave for people to come here, because they don't really know what they're walking into in terms of good production or any of that stuff. And John was just a huge hit at the festival, with everybody, with the volunteers and the music fans.
It was such an incredible experience. Everybody was so sweet, man. It was just so freaking sweet at the place. The food was incredible, man. You had this dude, I was like an orca at the back. Every time they had something, I was eating. I don't know how y'all afforded that, man. Just the food I ate should have broke you.
Right. Well, believe it or not, that was all donated. We have about 50 local fishermen who would go fishing before the festival. And then we had 3 or 4 gourmet seafood chefs that would cook backstage. I
think you wanted to bring him back in 2020, didn't you, Doug?
Yeah, we tried to, and John was touring in Europe, unfortunately, at that time. So we were going to do it this year,
Yeah, so but we've been
Can I share my favorite John Boutte moment with you?
Yeah, go for it.
Well, there's actually 2. I mean, John, when we were in New Orleans just before the pandemic hit, you took us on a tour of your version of New Orleans that I will never forget. It was one of the sweetest, most wonderful things I've ever had anybody do for me. And you opened up your family home and showed us around, and I'll never forget that, John. But when we went and recorded together in Ashcroft, BC, we were making a record with my friends from India, and the album was called Slide to Freedom. And John came in directly from New Orleans landed in Ashcroft. A friend picked him up at Vancouver Airport and drove him straight out to Ashcroft. And we were all staying in I don't know what the motel was, but it was like a Norman Bates kind of motel.
Yeah. It was.
Right? I mean, the whole town turned upside down. But one night we were in the parking lot of that hotel, and John said, "I want you to hear this." And I stood beside him as he sang Paul Simon's American Tune. just to me in the dark of the parking lot, and I've never, probably the best musical moment I have ever had in my life.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I'm getting
To hear you
chills.
sing that up close like that, John, and I'll never forget that. It was stunning.
That's so sweet of you. That's so sweet of you. Thank you so much.
And I dreamed I was dying, and I dreamed that my soul rose unexpectedly, while looking back down on me, smiled reassuredly. And I dreamed I was flying, and high up above my eyes I could clearly see the Statue of Liberty sailing away to sea. And I dreamed I was flying.
It sounds like you can just start singing it at any second. Like there are people who talk and then they sound different when they sing, but you sound like you're singing all the time.
Well, you know, that in my family, right? When we'd have visitors, they'd come in from Mardi Gras, whatever, we'd be in my mother's home. And there's 10 kids, and, you know, everybody's conversations going, and they always said, y'all all sound like y'all singing. Yeah, because of the phrase and the way, the words and everything. But one thing I learned a long time ago was that I can only sing in my voice, right? I mean, I can fake it. Believe me, I could do some Pavarotti shit, but I'd sound crazy. You know, it just wouldn't sound right coming out of me. And one thing I encourage most singers to do is to sing in their voice. You know, classical singers are taught to sing, you know, certain ways, you know, and but if you're going to be a singer, you know, I think everybody can sing. If you sing in your range, in your pitch, in your range, try to keep some kind of pitch and phrase and emote it, man. You know, that's the simple. The hardest part is emoting it. Really, you got to feel it, and that's where I encourage folks to pick songs that mean something to them, and then you can really bring it across.
The other thing that you do that blows me away is your tambourine playing. I mean, you could just make a record of tambourine, and I'd buy it.
Yeah,
I tell you what, man. People say that, but these hands are made for the piano and the trumpet, man. Because I have to start working out, dude. All right, to keep that tambourine, and I've never been trained on it. So I'm grabbing the thing sometimes I grab it the wrong way, and I'll have a cymbal cutting into my hand, and I can't stop it like that. I have to just go through it, you know, almost like, you know, so I don't lose the rhythm. Next thing I know, I look, I'm like, God damn, I've just cut my hand off. I remember when I first started doing it, I'd be playing it on my leg. And I went to the bathroom, sat down, and said, geez. I was wondering what was happening. I said, oh, you're stupid. You've been beating yourself up with a tambourine. I tell you what, I was on stage with John Scofield. I'm going to leave you with this. I was on stage with John Scofield one year at Jazz Fest. And somebody gave me a tambourine that didn't have a head. It was one of these half moon things. And I was just rolling with it, girl. And I forgot it didn't have a head on it. I thought it was like a regular tambourine. And I went to do this. I hit it on my shoulder like this. I was ready to scream bloody murder right into the microphone. I usually make the audience cry. I made myself cry.
Yeah. Mark, do you have a story that you want to share?
Oh, there's so many. You know, John and I have walked 2 second lines together in New Orleans. The first one we did together was Uncle Lionel.
Wow, his birthday was yesterday.
Yeah, remember they had him standing in state because he wanted his body not to be in a coffin for the viewing, but trussed up.
He was standing up there. He started a trend, dude.
Oh yeah, it was crazy. But the second one I actually played, and it was for Lionel Furbos, and you were playing trumpet, and Kirk Joseph, because of Todd Duke, introducing us, Kirk brought me a sousaphone to play the second line.
That's right.
And the only problem was that you're so damn popular down there that you were right next to me, and the photographers are like trying to photograph you, and you know, with a sousaphone, and you're marching down the street, man, they're getting under your feet, right? So like, I remember trying to get away from you because of the photographers. But the other thing that you taught me, John, was, and I learned this, you know, sitting in your kitchen, was how to serve gumbo. Mm-hmm. Like most people put it over rice. Mm-hmm. Not in the Boutte house, it's over potato salad.
That's right, baby. Potato salad, you have the option, but the potato salad is killer.
Yeah. Well, it was good to be here. Thanks for inviting me in, Fiona. And
oh, my pleasure. Mark, you're like the carrot that gets John Boutte to Vancouver, because you welcome him into your home, and he's become part of your family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love you, Mark.
Thanks.
Love you, John.
Bye. Bye, Mark.
Yeah.
Thanks again for joining us.
Pleasure.
We'll see you soon.
Yeah, I hope so, brother. That was so sweet. Thank you, Fiona. That was really sweet.
Love that. So, well, I just want to circle back a little bit, because I do want to go back to your history. You grew up in a musical family. Your sisters are sisters, Lily and Boutte, especially your older sister is.
Yeah, my sister Lily, my dear sister. She's one who really got me interested in doing this for a living, because I used to follow her around when she was singing background for Alan Toussaint and Dr. John, and she was doing her own thing. I followed her to Europe for several years, playing like cameo spots with her, helping her logistically, et cetera, and until I decided to just do my own thing, you know. And,
well, I understand that you met a very famous artist.
That's right.
King Stevie Wonder.
He had came to my school to get his first honorary doctorate in human letters. And subsequently, his publishing lawyer, who was a dear friend of mine, asked could he borrow my piano. He didn't say for who or whatever, right? So I let him have the piano, little electric piano, and then he told me to come pick it up. And I was really upset about him making me come pick it up. But when I got there, Stevie Wonder was playing it. I spent the whole day with him. We laughed, we talked, we sang. I even told him he was sharp.
Oh no, really?
The room got quiet, man. You know, talk about a pin job. What? And he just turned around and he looked at me and said, I'm Stevie Wonder, dude. I'm never sharp. I said, well, I must be flat. So he brought him to the piano and he started jamming. Anyway, he told me I had a signature voice and that I could make it in this industry if I had patience and determination. And that's after I asked him to take me with him.
Oh, yeah.
I said, take me with you, Steve. He says, I asked him 3 times. I said, well, what I got to do? Because he told me I had something special. He says, patience and determination. And I looked at him and I squeezed his hand. I said, take me with you. He is a dear heart, though, man. He's a sweetheart, really. I was in a room with him, Jonathan Fishback, who recorded Songs of the Key of Life, and the incredible artist, John Scott. And Stevie said, oh, this is magic. We got 3 Johns in a room. And it was. It changed my life. I quit my banking job the next day. Quit. And that's when I, you know, became broke and happy.
I was born by the river in a little tent wall. Just like that river, I've been rolling ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know that a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. Well, I go to the movies, then I go downtown. You see people always telling me, John, don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know that a change gonna come. Yes, it will. Well, it's too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. I don't know what's up there, Lord, far beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know that a change gonna come. Yes, it will. Then I go to my brother. I say, brother, could you help me please? Don't you know that my brother, he ends up knocking me right back on my knees. There've been times when I thought I might not last very long, but now I know that I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know that a change gonna come. Whoa.